What if I told you that a war in the Middle East just forced the US president to threaten pulling troops out of Germany, and it all started with a disagreement between allies? By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how a conflict with Iran is now reshaping America's military presence in Europe, and why this could be the biggest shift in Western defense strategy since the Cold War. Okay, so here's what's happening right now. President Trump announced Wednesday that the United States is considering reducing its troop numbers in Germany. This isn't some routine military adjustment. This is happening because of a heated row with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz over the ongoing Iran war. Think of it like this. You and your roommate agreed to split the rent because you're both dealing with the same noisy neighbor downstairs. But then your roommate suddenly says they won't help with the noise complaint anymore. They want to negotiate instead. Now you're stuck paying for security and dealing with the problem alone. That's basically what's happening here, except the noisy neighbor is Iran, the security is military deployment, and your roommate is Germany. Here's where it gets interesting. The US has maintained around 35,000 troops in Germany for decades. These aren't just stationed there for fun. They're the backbone of NATO's defense strategy and America's ability to project power across Europe and into the Middle East. But now, as the Iran conflict intensifies, Trump needs European allies to stay united on military pressure. Instead, Chancellor Merz is apparently pushing for a different approach. The exact details of their disagreement aren't public, but the timing tells us everything. And this is the part that matters. When the US threatens to pull troops from Germany, it's not just about Germany. Every country watching is doing the math on what American security guarantees actually mean when the pressure's on. Here's the wild part. This could actually strengthen Iran's position without them firing a single shot. If NATO allies start fracturing over strategy, Tehran gets exactly what it wants, a divided Western response. Now stay with me, because this is where it gets complicated for everyone else. Those US troops in Germany aren't just defending Germany. They're the logistical hub for American operations across Africa, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe. Pull them out, and you're not just changing European security, you're reshuffling how America projects power globally. The stakes here go way beyond military positioning. If European allies can't agree on Iran policy, what happens when the next crisis hits? What happens to NATO unity if America starts treating military support as conditional on specific foreign policy alignment? This isn't just about troop numbers or diplomatic spats. It's about whether the Western alliance can hold together when facing its biggest test since World War II. And the answer to that question will determine what the next decade of global security looks like. Sometimes the most important geopolitical shifts don't start with invasions or declarations of war. They start with quiet conversations between allies who suddenly realize